Hey, this is Zach. Hopefully, you guys are in a good of health. Recently, we have received a very shocking news. I would say that the Shadowlands Season 1 Mythic Plus item level loot at the end dungeon has been nerfed significantly to a number which I can say pretty much separating the two groups of players who are enjoying the raiding and Mythic Plus contents. As before this, Blizzard gave the flexibility of players to choose to gear up their characters via Mythic Plus or Heroic Raid. Due to the end of a dungeon loot, eye level is the same on both contents. It's really weird to see why Blizzard changed this all of a sudden, and our community did bashing a lot into the official forum about dissatisfaction, especially towards the Mythic Plus players only. In my general opinion, Blizzard should make the end of dungeon loot the same eye level as what we have facing now in BFA. What is your opinion regarding this? I would like to know, and please hit the comment box down below to share your thoughts. Okay then, for this video, we are going to talk about unhappy changes of Mythic Plus and dungeon loot, and another one bonus topic, which is last two bosses of Castle Nathria raid drop higher eye level loot. As usual guys, to ask for your utmost favor, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more future contents, and remember to ring the bell. Let's hit it. To all Azerothian, without wasting of our time, let us hit into our standard overview for this discussion via mind mapping. As you can see through this screen, we are going to touch two topics, which are Mythic Plus item level loot table, which contains the what kind of Mythic Plus content that you need to do for a certain eye level reward on weekly great vaults. But this one, we are going to talk about the maximum reward from weekly chests and comparing the first 8 bosses with last 2 bosses item eye level in raid. Another topic is what is the significance of reducing the item eye level of end of dungeon loot. For this, reducing eye level between end dungeon and heroic eye level gear is something people are really furious about. Let us discuss it one by one. Ladies and gentlemen, the first one is, let us look into the table of the Season 1 Mythic Plus item level loot table. This is still in beta and it might have some changes anytime as we speak. For your information, and perhaps some of us might know about this one, that the end dungeon chest in Shadowlands reward only one piece. I repeat, reward only one piece of loot, and it is not the same like in BFA. Well, if this quantity stays the same, it is really a big problem for those who wants to farm a certain item in dungeon due to the quantity drop is only one piece. Imagine if we do on pugs run, the chances to get the item is really slim, unless if we have the same setup dungeon group of people who runs the same dungeon every time can a little bit solve this problem, in my opinion. From the table, by doing keystone level dungeon, at least Mythic plus 14 can reward 226 Mythic raid eye level for weekly great vaults, but for end of dungeon item needs to complete at least Mythic plus 15 for 210 eye level, which is 3 points lower than first 8 bosses item level 213. Referring to the another table as well for heroic, the last 2 bosses in Castle of Nothria raid will award you with 220 eye level. Same goes to other modes, which is 7 different from the first 8 bosses. In my opinion, for this difference in eye level for the last 2 bosses is something that I totally agree. This is because the 2 last bosses considered mechanics challenging, whereby a lot of things that needs to be brushed up or to be considered in terms of skills and fail to do so will resulting a longer progression. As a return for defeating both last bosses will reward to you better eye level and also other useful trinket I can assume. What do you think about these changes for eye level upon the last 2 bosses? Is it okay? If you would like to share anything, please hit the comments box down below. Furthermore, to the last point for what is the significance of reducing the item eye level of end of dungeon loot, as being pointed out by a few of our friends who had tested in beta, like I have explained from the above that the max item level of end of dungeon chest is 210 for mythic plus 15 and above, whereas the loot from heroic Castle Nothria is 213 eye level. Well guys, for your information, this is the first time that the Mythic Plus and Dungeon Chest will award you with lower item level than Heroic Gear, because of in BFA both contents award the same eye level. From my understanding, there must be a reason why Blizzard implemented this, and my guess and also opinion is that this is being targeted for the top guilds who hunt for Wolfer's raid, because they can strictly trade the items to those raiders that needs it. This will reflect a fast farming items, and it is like no drop in items for heroic run were not being wasted or throw it away, just trade it due to the same eye level. Well, believe me, to all my friends, there are a lot of top raiders out there whereby the raid teams doing a very massive of Mythic Plus just to improve the eye level of the character before joining heroic raid or mythic raid. Some of the raid leader even want to get his or her raiders to farm 50% at least item in heroic eye level through Mythic Plus. It is totally insane, right? But what to do? This is we call a hardcore guild to push for Wolfer's burning midnight oil just to equip the best possible eye level gears through repeating the Mythic Plus, but not anymore in Shadowlands. Example, farming the gears during the Mythic Raid release is an awesome upgrade, but it will not allow you to trade the heroic raid loot from Castle Nothria due to that 3 item levels lower. It is like in order to trade, everyone must have the heroic loot eye level based, then can trade. Is this already been intended by Blizzard? Hit the comment box down below for your thoughts. It is like people who do only Mythic Plus needs to force themselves to raid in order to improve the eye level, otherwise eye level 210 is the max one. As the conclusion to all my beloved friends, except from raiding, what is exactly the purpose of end of dungeon loot will be? If people are hunt for the best eye level, and of course heroic raid offer a greater eye level compared to end dungeon item at Mythic plus 15. What will happen to Mythic Plus? Do people not to do the keys to level up their gears anymore and better to join raid? With no Titan Forging or War Forging, most likely players will stop on Mythic Plus unless for weekly Great Vaults. The only beautiful part is that players can spamming for best Mythic Plus key to acquire more options on selecting your item in weekly chest. Feel free to watch my video on how to get this choice of loot in weekly Great Vaults, posted link under the description down below. That is all the news that I can share at the moment. Some of our community might agree and some of them are against these changes for the lootable items. Hopefully Blizzard will find a very best option to encounter to these unfavorable changes, which I can say in BFA there is no issues at all. Hopefully you guys are enjoyed for this video. As usual, throughout all of my previous videos, it is just my personal overview which may be right or wrong. If you have any ideas, concerns, opinions, anything to add up, feel free to drop under the comments box down below to discuss. Appreciate for your full support. Thank you everyone for watching and see you again in the next video. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy and have a pleasant day.